wants to be in close, because maybe the police are around and he doesn't want to be seen. Two, this, if anybody's ever had a knife through their throat, I did when I was 12, okay? And so, believe me, it'll wake you up, okay? So it's a sense of control for him, all right? So when I'm here, I do this, right? So now, I did it exactly the way I would do it if it was for real, which is I was talking, and he's listening to me talk, and I did it without giving him any indication of what I was gonna do. Okay, right? Okay. So, the mugger, the guy that's gonna come up to you, he's gonna be giving you direction. He's gonna be saying, okay, give me your money. He's gonna tell me, don't move, okay, right? You wanna start talking to him, because his brain is gonna have to try to listen to you. So now he's trying to talk, you're talking to him, he's getting confused. That's what we want. When we make the move, there is no wind-up. Wherever our hands are, it has to go from there. So when I was a teenager and I started karate, I would have my friends hold this here and I would always go from down here, just to train to see if I could do it. Tonight, we're not gonna worry about trying to push in, okay? But eventually, if you work this technique, you wanna have the guy try to push in when he sees you move, okay? So if I'm talking, he's gonna say, don't move. I'm gonna say, all right, man, listen, I'll give you whatever you want. My hands, okay, man, don't move. All right, I'm not gonna move, right? But again, I'm moving my hands a little bit. His eyes are gonna see that movement. It distracts him. I'm talking, but I'm telling him I'll do whatever you want. You want my car? I'll give you my grandkids, whatever, right? He's gonna be listening. He's gonna be saying, be quiet. Now his brain is working. That's when we make our move, okay? So this is one of the things and the differences between combat and sport. So in combat, right, I can be older. I am older, I'm 61, right? But the bad guy is usually gonna be what? He's 30. He's gonna be 20, right? Or 17 or 18. So the standard joke in law enforcement is when you become a police officer, the criminal's 18 to 25. And when you retire 20 years later, the criminals are still 18 to 25, okay? So how do we do this? This hand is gonna come here on the inside, this hand's gonna come on the back. Now the mistake I see a lot of people when they do this technique is they clap. So they do this and let go. So we don't wanna do that. We wanna do this, and now from here, we're gonna come to here. Maybe do kotegashi, okay? Now, I'll talk a little bit about kotegashi because there's some issues when I see people do kotegashi. There can be no space in here. If there's space in here, he will pull out. He'll just yank his hand out, okay? So you squeeze the space. The pinky has to squeeze in. The pinky and then here. Now, even with one hand, he doesn't like it. But I would never do one hand. It would be two, okay? If he goes down, knee kick, front kick, whatever you want to do. If he stays standing, I come in, relax, so it doesn't hurt. I can follow an elbow, headbutt, whatever you want to do, okay? When you train knife defense, if the knife doesn't come out of his hand, which eventually, some people are very stiff, it won't. So when you come here, right? The knife's still here. So now if I follow up and I take him down, right? I never leave the knife in his hand. You always take the knife, even in the dojo, out of your partner's hand, okay?
Right.
You think you won't leave it in his hand, but the way you train is the way you will fight. So never leave the knife in his hand. If you do kotegashi very hard, usually the knife will go flying, okay? So keep that in mind. Now if there's more than one guy, you've got to realize there's now a knife on the floor, or wherever it is, you have to be aware of that, okay? So on kotegaeshi, you'll see a lot of people step back and do this. This is a very Aikido way of doing it, okay? But this is not effective in combat, okay? So in combat, if I'm doing kotegaeshi, when I come here, it's immediate and it's this way. And I go this way, and he knows if I really cranked it, his wrist would be gone, right? And obviously, he can follow up. 35 years ago, that's what I taught. But here's the problem with the modern criminal. So if I'm not gonna be there, you're gonna be there, okay? So you have to make that decision. But if he's telling you he's gonna cut you, if he's telling you he's gonna kill you, I would believe him, okay? So we've had incidents where the guy put the knife on the side, which we're gonna go over this too here. The guy gave the guy his watch, gave his cell phone, gave him all his money, and the guy cut him anyway. When we got there to take the report, the guy was asking us. He survived, luckily. And it was a bad cut, but he survived. He says, I gave him everything he wanted. Why did he cut him? So I get asked this question all the time. The reason he cut him was because he likes it. See, we want to have this idea that criminals can be rehabilitated, and if we're nice to them, they'll be nice to us. They're criminals. Their job is to be criminals. That's their job. Their job is to be a bad guy. They catch you unawares, okay, they're gonna try to do something. Now, in the case of a female, right, they may try to remove you, take you somewhere, right, do something, okay? Maybe they're using this to control you, all right? So the answer to your question is, if you think that you can give him the money, whatever, and he's gonna let you walk away, then of course I would say, go ahead. But if you think he's not gonna let you walk away, well then you better do something. So the answer always in my dojo is it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, okay? And, just some things, I mean, like, certain things, we're gonna go through a bunch of different knife scenarios. So I wanna do a couple where we hold it, and then we'll start doing some more dynamic stuff, okay? So my knife program, when I teach it, and I do knife defense probably in my dojo, a few times a month. I do gun disarms a few times a month, okay? And I teach very traditional karate, but I live in the real world. And in the real world, I've traveled all over the world. Last year I was in Cali, Colombia. Not a safe place, right? So if you're gonna travel and you're gonna go different places, you wanna have an understanding of how to do that. And like we were discussing this afternoon, this is not something you're really seeing anymore in the curriculum in Okinawa karate. And it's something that should be in the curriculum. Okay? And if we're going into modern times, well, if someone holds a gun on you, well, you should know how to possibly remove that gun from them. And there are techniques, no question about it. Okay? So, any other questions? Okay, so you want to try this one?
Yep.
Okay, so you can grab this wooden knife there, you can grab them if you want to do metal. So all I'm going to suggest is be careful of the windows because I don't want to, if someone does it good and the knife goes flying, I don't want anything getting broken. Okay, so you can set them up. Jamie, whoever want to set them up. Anybody want this one? And go slow. I'll walk around, I'll help everyone. Okay, don't move your hands too much. He's nervous. Okay, so this here, this move here is the most important. That's the most important. So you want to work that. Yes. You gotta push it in. Yeah. Again. He's like this. He thinks the cops are, you know what I'm saying? No one's gonna get hurt. Okay. So this one, if you get stabbed straight in here, it's no big deal. Okay. Does everybody know what a tracheotomy is?
Hi.
Okay. That's in essence what's going on. So it's no big deal. If you get sliced here or sliced here, that's a bigger problem because this is your aorta. Right? So we'll start here. Okay. So obviously we don't want to do this because we're going to cut our own throat. Okay. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to come up and move like this. All right. So as I move, I can move here, Then from here, now I have, this is a reverse kotegaeshi, right? So I'm here, I can follow from here, I can come here and keep going, I can also come here and break from here. Okay? But again, the most important aspect of this technique is this initial move. So what I try to do is when I do this, I don't want to grab here because his wrist can still move. So when I grab, I want to try to grab the hand. Okay? So again, when I was originally training this, I would literally just have someone here, and I'd say when I move, try to cut me, and I would just do this over and over again. You know? And like I'm looking at you, I don't even have to look at it. That's the level you want to get to, where you just know where it is and you can grab it. Okay? So that's the one on this side. So the one on this side, this is far less common. So the two main ones for the throat are going to be this one mostly and this one. Maybe on occasion this, but the technique I'm about to show from here will work on this also. So you're getting 2 for 1. Okay? So here. So what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to attack the elbow joint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move in past the knife. So now the knife's behind me. Now in order for him to use it, he's got his natural instinct. Anytime you grab him, he's going to try to pull his hand back. That's what he does. He's not going to do some fancy counter. So when I do this, he's going to try to yank his hand back. But if I have him here and I sink and bring my elbow to the waist, no. So when we do this, this is one where you can drop down and make you a lot stronger, and you're here. So here's one of the things you don't want to do on this arm bar. So if I do this with him, we call this equalizing power. So we're both equal. I want him to go down and me to be here. That's when he feels the pain. Okay? And everybody knows if you feel pain, it's out, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's from here. All right? So this one here, we're going here, right to here. Okay? And then like I said, you can do this, you can do this, you can take him down, kick, whatever. This one here, we're going to move in and step across. Now the knife's behind us. It makes it more difficult for him to bring it to play. This arm bar, I've never had a criminal escape from this arm bar. And I've used it I don't know how many times. So some of the key points on this, right, is this is the joint I'm attacking, but I don't want to focus on the joint. So when you're doing a joint lock, you never want to focus on the point of attack. I know it sounds bizarre, okay? But when I'm here, right, I'm gonna put my elbow on the floor. So this just happens to be in the way, okay? If I focus here, he can fight me. So I never put my intent is never here. It's always, it's in her foot over there, right? Okay? If I come here, it's in his rear foot, right? So I put the intent somewhere else. He doesn't know where that is, okay? So this is a concept we call in Tai Chi the dot. So we place a dot someplace. That's where we put our power. He doesn't know where the dot is. And it sounds crazy. Like, yeah, but I have to attack the joint. You attack only the joint, he can fight you at the joint. He'll fight you at the point of attack. If you put the power somewhere else, he can't feel it. Okay? Questions on these two?
Do you mean like we should focus instead on the part of the limb that you're isolating?
So what I'm literally doing, right? If I'm doing a joint lock like this, I'm putting my power in the floor. So if I'm punching him here, I'm not punching him here. I'm punching the wall over there. So the power is never where he is. The power is always someplace else. And again, people have a hard time getting their head wrapped around this, all right? But, you know, it's 100%, go ahead.
Is it where you want them to go, or just?
It could be where you want them to go. That depends on what you want to do, okay? So there's a few different ways to use this arm bar. So I'm keeping it pretty simple tonight, okay? The same thing, if you have him in this arm bar, let's say, right? And maybe you don't catch him quick enough, and now he bends his elbow. So if he pulls bend your elbow. Yeah, so if he does that, now I counter with Nikyo.
Yeah.
And now with Nikyo, again, I'm not here. I'm in his center, right? Now I put it on his rear foot. Now I put it on the bench over there, right? And he feels the difference. He feels the power, it feels different, right? So that's what you wanna get.
Right.
And the grip is vitally important. The biggest thing I see with karate people especially, and not even just karate people, I see it with jiu-jitsu people too, is because they are comfortable doing it in the dojo, the grip is weak. And then what happens is you have to do one of the joint locks for real, and your grip isn't there, and the guy just yanks his hand out. So then you hear things like, oh, these techniques don't work, okay? I can tell you they work if you do them right. I've done them hundreds of times on fully resistant criminals, okay? You know, I'm not big. Most of the criminals I'm doing it to are what? They're far larger than me, okay? You do them right, the angles are right, the grip is right, they work, all right? So you wanna try these two?
はい、
Okay.
お願いします。
So you want to see it's a common theme where we want to first we start doing something like that. It's the same. So there's different ways to do it. And like do it with a little bit more movement involved later on. So restricted movement gives you a better result. Okay? You felt the difference, right? So, give me a elbow, you touch here. Now he's down there, you're up here. Okay? Right. Yes. Okay? Good. Yeah. And then from there, you have to decide.
Let's practice this one and
Keep this hand.
medium one.
The other way you can do it is here.
That's okay. The principle was take it out of the way. Like, medium one.
Here. Here. So, right? So, you can manipulate. So you alternate. So you want to put this hand now, this hand's going to come here. And now, grab it here. Bring his hand up to there, right up to to do that,
Get you out of the way, but not go too much.
you tap, as soon as it hurts, tap, stop.
Okay, here we go.
No,
You don't need to.
you don't grab it, you're gonna get cut. So you have to work on seasoning it right.
Don't come back. My body. Yeah, you always. This is what you always do.
No, cut. Yeah. Okay. The other side is one. Right? So the other side is one. Good. Good. And if it hurts, like this. I'm saying if it does, tap your leg. No.
This one was.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm gonna do when you finish. No, see, he bent his elbow, I'll take the risk. No. Grab. This elbow here, squeeze in and down, and now I do it. Right? And I sit. So this is an example where it's not often you'll use like a Seijutsu stance and Shikodachi in combat, but on this one, right, I wouldn't cross the legs in combat. Just because I'm not a fan of the position. But you drop like this, or even if you do this like in jiu-jitsu, we'll do this too. You know, it increases your power without doing it. So a guy small like me, I'm dealing with a big guy like you. I have to use my body. If I don't, the guy's escaping. So you want to good. Okay. Overall, it's okay, but you want to be here. See, so you're a little like this, right? You understand what I'm saying? Right, I don't like it. Right. So I want to be here. See, now it's past me. Now, like I said, I have it here, but this bang is over, and I just turn it. You don't stand.
We can't figure out the
So that hand's gonna come up to my nose. That's it, that's not it. Now, step it. Right? Now look where the knife is. Now it's behind you? Yeah. Okay, now you grab here, right? Okay, back straight, back straight. Okay, now, take this, sink, take your elbow, touch your belly. Don't lean over, keep your back straight. So lean down, you are. Good. Okay?
You know, grabbing me.
I got you, just so you feel it. Right?
So you see me.
So when I
Then you grab me from
you slide
here.
right down.
One, two. I feel a little bit of when you push me with this first. We can see there's a grab first.
Visualizing how, say you don't feel it.
Because
I do this.
Because I'm more straight in here.
Feel it.
Like that, right? This right here. So when you come like that, it's so strong.
So if the person has to go down, you stay up. Yeah. It's illegal. You know the old, in the park, the teeter totter, right? You sit on, okay? So, elbows in. So when you have my elbow, right? Right, so this comes over. You bring it around. See how you start rolling?
Yeah.
Alright, now pull this into your center. Right.
Yes.
Right? So when you hold here, right? Now grab here, right now. Pull this up, push this down. You want to stand in the middle of the teeter totter. You move it up this end of the teeter totter.
Yes.
Okay? Alright? Yeah. It's all legal.
I felt I'm losing my strength.
So the one I was showing you the roll, this is a teeter totter, right? So when I'm here, I move here, right? I got it. Relax, too stiff. You're gonna get hurt. Relax. Right? Here, right? So when I'm here, this is the center of the teeter totter. Right. In the park. You know what a teeter totter is?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, I pull this end up, he goes down. And you take your elbow and you try to touch your legs.
So this one first, right? The grab that you
Yeah, but see, why do you want to push it away? So as you do that, step in. See, look, right, see now you're right here. That's your lifeline, right? Now, so, this, you pull up to the ceiling. Good. This touches your opening. Keep pulling up. Now, bend your knees, sink. There you go. This arm bar, I'm telling you, it's a brutal arm bar. Yes. Stop. When it hurts. Doesn't matter. So the thing you have to. Okay, yeah, man. Okay, so a couple of things you want to realize. Okay. The guy doesn't know you won't know anything. He doesn't know you know anything. How's he gonna know you know something? He doesn't. Okay? Now, if you're advertising it, well, yeah, then he's gonna know you know something. Okay? So we don't advertise it, right? So he's gonna be pretty shocked when you make your move. Okay? But when you make your move, you have to make it 1,000%. So again, I'm showing you the techniques tonight. No one's gonna get them tonight. After I go, we practice, they get better. Okay? That's the only way they get better. Okay? Again, hopefully, never need it. But if you do need it, you want to have an idea of how to do this. Okay? So, I'm going to show you one from behind, but I don't think we're going to work it. But I just want to give you an idea so we know. Do you have a knife? Yeah. So just stand behind it. Okay. So, no, in my back. Oh, yeah, like that. Okay. So again, not too common, but the guy's like, okay, give me your money. Okay. All right. So most people are right-handed or left-handed. Right. Right-handed, right? Okay. So which shoulder do I want to look over? Yeah. I want to look over my left shoulder. I'm assuming the weapon's in his right hand. It's the other hand I want to see. All right, please don't hurt me. I just saw his hand there. What's he going to be telling me? Don't move. Don't turn around. Okay, now I'll give you my money, right? Okay, now that I move, now here we finish. Okay? So the smart criminal might do this. Okay? So that's why I want to show you. Okay? So that's why you look over the left first. Now, let's say you're a lefty, right? Okay? All right, please don't want any trouble. I already saw the other hand. All right, please don't. I don't want to. Okay. All right. Can I move inside? I can. But so either way, you can practice both. But again, this one isn't as common. There are ones I teach from this, but we're not going to do that tonight. The guy comes behind you. Okay? It's a little bit difficult, so we're going to work it out tonight. Any questions so far? Okay. All right. So let's do one where he's holding it on the center. Okay? So he's here, right? So what do I want to do? First off, what you need to understand is, right, in order for him to put the knife in there, he's probably not going to be able to just push it in. He's going to have to draw it back and come here. Okay? So that's what we want. So I'm going to just move here. And I'm not going to move a lot. I'm not going to do this and step this big step down. So when I move, you go to stay, right? I'm here, right? Now, right? Once I'm here, you can do whatever else I want to do. Right? So right from here, we're just doing it. So I'm not doing this. You wind up, you're right, that's what you're doing. That's exactly how you do it. Okay? Now the problem is, you don't want to do this. Because now, it's coming right back to cover. Okay? I see this all the time when I do this. So, you don't have to do that, right? When I move, James is going to try to just push forward, like, because, right? You can't. Again, and all I do is just do this. That's what I do. Okay? All right? so again, just from here, and then I come right back. And when I do this, this would come as space. In here, be careful with that. I don't want to get, it's all fun and games if somebody is poking you out. Right, so be careful, okay? So then from here, and obviously kick whatever you want to follow. And that you can always play around. It's that initial move that you want to avoid, okay? If he's here, this again is not very common, okay? Then you can do things like this. Say something. Alright, break it, okay? So you see, so this center one is going to lead into the next one where we're going to start to move a little bit, okay? So let's just try this one. And here we go, okay? All right. And we do, in my dojo, we do work inside too, because you just may make a mistake. So you can't say redo, you know. Now, if I come here, I may come here and come here, right? All right. Now, if I come here, I may just come and try to take the arm, right? Okay? So we try to center, and you just want to literally just do this. The bigger the movement, the more he's going to see it. You want to keep the movement small. And you want him to realize you did something after he wakes up. Okay? Okay.
Yes. Hey. Good.
Yes, yes, okay. Yes, I'll do that in public, please. Okay, so it's one.
The one if I don't know. Okay, what?
Don't wind up. Don't wind up. Yeah, there you go. So, I'm here, right? So, I don't do that. You do that. So look where my hand is. I don't want to talk about it. Don't push it down. Don't push it down. So don't even move it. No, watch. So here's the thing. The feeling is. So again, I'm doing it slow. Here. Shoulder will work. See, you go up, I don't have. So what I want to do is I'm going to adjust. I know it's too far away. What's up here? I try to hold on. Just shake your hand. You see what I'm saying? So what I want is when he's here, I want it right back, right away. I want it right now.
Hey.
And I move. You stand. Okay? No. And I move. Stick. Okay? Ready? Go. Good. Ready? Go. Okay. Ready? So, small movements.
One good.
Well, for now I think it's the outside of the okay? But again, you don't want to push it down. So she's should be here. So I don't want to do this, because if I do this,
So now you can use it to move, but
if I do this, it's not going to be. Look, when I'm here, you go to pull your hand out. I still have control, you understand? I don't have power. If you fully extend it, it's a problem. So I put out. Don't release this. I feel like you give me a little bit more window. I feel so. So this is from up now. Already. See where is this? So sheet, but I move.
Yeah.
So this is one of the, first time I went to step back. I don't want to do that with the guy. I don't want to do that on the guy. I saw him, he had a sharp nail file between his fingers, but he was actually punching on the guy. So I snuck up behind him, whereas I did that, and the nail file was flying. But then he went to grab me, right? When I came here, I went to Kodayashi, but I went to do that, I do in the dojo. I did that. No, he just grabbed me. I swear, everything's just gonna be fancy. No, he grabbed me and pushed. Just pushed me, right? So now, I'm doing this, but like this, so I had to throw. He just throw, right? And I was like, I was supposed to have the best job in the dojo. That's the first time I ever do it. That's exactly what happened. I was like, okay, what's the problem? I should. And then I went back and I started examining. I said, okay. I sent one of my students one time to the next to teach jiu-jitsu seminar. They were accused. And they said to my student who was young, we're gonna work on countering Kodayashi. And they go, let's see the Kodayashi. So the guy came out and had Kodayashi, and the guy got up and was like, okay, now that we know we can't counter your Kodayashi, we don't want to say no. Because Aikido does big movements. We want to get them small. We want it to be where it's. So you have, let's say, we'll see this when you're here, right? So from here, so it's here, right? Or here, right now. This, get your pinky, pull it in. You see the difference in the grip? So do it again. Now, you see here? Squeeze. Yeah. Okay. Now, this foot, extend it straight. Take your arm to it. So extend your arm. Okay. Do you see how big? Boom, it's there. It's finished. When you're doing the heart, it's devastating. It's so fast that I can't. That's why you put the hands on there. But there's a big swing thing. He's giving me again. He's not going to do anything fancy. He's going to grab me. We want him where he thinks as he's going this way, which is what we're doing next. When he comes in and tries to stick. So he's coming here, but when I do this, what's his instinct? His instinct is no. Your instinct. What's over there? I got your hand. What's your instinct? No, pull your hand out. Right, your instinct is, if I go to stab you here and you parry, right? My instinct is to do that. That's what the guy's natural instinct is to do. We want him to do that. So when I'm here and I go like this, pull your hand back, right? When you pull it back, that's when I do that. You follow it, you start cheating, you stick to it. Boom. That's what he's going to do. So I'm here. I pull this right here now. So now you extend your arms. Yeah! And you step. So when you see Aikido, they do this. That's right. The issue is it's this flowy stepping back that gives the enemy way too much time. He just yanks out. Okay, so let's do this one first. So let's do where the guy is kind of doing the, like this kind of thing, or like he's threatening you with it, but he's not really going to stab. He's like, listen, I'm going to cut you, right? So he's here. So what we want to do is we're going to come in and we're going to attack. We're not going to wait for him, right? So, and when I do this, what's he probably going to do? Or he's going to yank his arm back, right? Because he wants to come back, right? Again, so it's like if you remember when they tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan?
Oh, yeah.
So, and remember the Secret Service agent got shot? As soon as he did this. As soon as you grab, people instinctively try to pull out. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do this super slow. This one's very dangerous. And the problem is, it doesn't look dangerous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tripod with your two legs and your arms. So when you go to pull it back, I'm going to come here. And now, you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, the problem with this one is, and you don't have to pull each other down on the floor. When you do this is going to hit the ground. This is going to slam into the floor at about 100 miles an hour. It's a devastating technique. It's not fancy. You're not flying in the air. It's bad. Okay? So again, he goes to this, I grab it, right? Now, I may headbutt here or whatever, I come here, and I create that right now. Now from here, I can do a bunch of things. I can come here, and I can snap the arm here if I want. But to be honest, if you do this right, he's going to probably be on clear shoot. He's going to not be, his brain, when it hits there, he's going to have a concussion. One of my black belts in jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu sensei showed me this technique of Fukuoka. And my black belt didn't know what he was going to do. He did this, and I have it on video, and luckily it was on tatami, on springs. And when he hit, you see his head bounce off the tatami. And he was a little out of it, right? So this is a nasty one. So if James's foot is forward, right? So now, here's the line, here's the line, this is the third dot. And you see how you're off balance? Okay, so now you put this one back, right? Now I have to come here. So it depends on where his feet are. You have, so she's here, right? So if I draw a line here and a line here, the dot's here. You understand? So that's what you got to get a feel for. And you'll know, because the person you're doing it to, they'll immediately feel like they're going to go down. Okay? So again, what we don't want to do. This is a problem, and this is what most people do. They move backwards, but they think they're moving forward. Mm-hmm. And you'll even see some boxers where they'll do this, right? But if you ask them, they say, oh no, I was moving forward. And I can tell you, watching a lot of criminals fight, they actually will sometimes move backwards as they punch. Because again, it's human nature. Well, I'm going to stay as far away as I can and maybe still hit you. So years ago, there was a robbery in a bagel store, and the guy had a gun. And there was a guy here, and he was pointing the gun at the owner to give you the money. The guy here went to grab the gun. I saw the video. When he went to grab the gun, he went like this. And the guy turned the gun and shot and killed him. Because he never grabbed it. He went away from it. If he had moved in and grabbed it, he probably would have disarmed him. So keep that in mind. You have to train yourself to move in. And as I mentioned, the human body's tough. You plan on being cut. Okay? If you're a guy, that's another scar, right? Chicks dig scars, right? With your girl, try not to get one. You have plenty of plastic surgery, right? But you can survive. Don't think, oh, I'm stabbed, oh, I'm gonna die. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay? All right? So try this one slow, and I'll come around and help with the angles.
Right.
Okay? So as soon as I'm like, give me, I just one. It's now here. So you will create, so you try to put off from here, or mine from my foot here. You create that third thing. That's it. So now, so you do this. So another thing you do is you also do that. Also, step this way back. And then it's made this. And then we'll round two. And then the other thing you do, so and this is what happens, you stop it. So you stop, so you try to, you stop me there. The guy out there. So you stop here, right? Like this, now you're really stopping. So you go from the bottom to the head. He's gonna cover. This is what he does, right? It's just, yeah, it's his instinct. Again, he's gonna cover and protect where he thinks he's gonna get hit. So what you do is you go to the head. 1 or 2 stomps, 3 stomps. So you can just sit. So See how you go down? You feel how you walk down. So as that happens, just sit down. Sit down. Roll back. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? The big thing when you're falling is you keep your chin in your chin. So the head is okay? So that was good. Pretty good. Don't resist. So, because you can't, from the side of the brain, you go right with that. So I'm just going to tell you, you are. Literally, it's not big, it's small, but it's this. So what you want to do is, right from there, that's it. Now see, look, I'm all ready, right? And you can walk, keep walking until you flat. So, Chen Tai Chi, is there's no retreat. So people think that means we never go back. It also means you don't wind up. So we don't retreat the hands. We don't retreat the body. We only go right. So if I do this a little bit. His reptile brain sees that. He's going to move. So you see yourself. So if you're threatening with that, and I go like that, you see how he just reacted, right? But when I do that, right? No. Right? Now, once he's here, like I'm dancing. What do I mean by that, right? Is I'm moving and he's down. And then once he's here, I take here or break the wrist here, stomp, whatever.
Can I ask you, when you said don't resist, because I did resist.
So later on, you can resist. But when you're learning a technique, you don't want to resist. Plus, here's the other issue. The only reason you're resisting is because you know he's going to do something. And you also know what he's going to do. Okay, now wait a second. Okay. So, I'm doing a seminar in London, and mostly young people in the room, teenagers mostly. And the one young kid comes over and says, "Hey, Sensei, I'm trying to do the technique, and he won't let me do it. He keeps countering.